Alright, so we are finally live. And I was hoping over here I can get my thing to work the way it should be. Alright, so yeah, it's just not showing up on the tablet. But anyway, so nope, screw the tablet. Let's just put Avid Control on this and it'll be fine. So what I have over here today is a little song that I have the multi-tracks from Tourna-mix. It's a song by Kenny Royster and it's called Gypsy White Moon. So what I'm gonna try to do right now is try to do a live mix in the stream with using console 1 basically, but it's gonna work the same on most channel strips, most SSL channel strips. So if you guys are interested in sticking around and looking at what's happening, you know, even giving some tips and everything, it'll be a fun place to be. So I have a Cubase session set up over here. Let me just pull this up. Right, so this is the main Cubase session. Let me show you just the session, which is this one. So basically what I did is I just pulled 5 decibels and the volume faders over here. I had mixed this song before, so I knew kind of what was happening with the tracks and everything else. So they're all grouped, bussed and everything. I have an instance of console 1 over here on each track, which basically means I'm able to control the whole thing off of this. So these are all the tracks have SSL 4000, so the console 1 default console, and all the groups have the SSL, not the SSL, sorry, the Gambit series, the Vice Gambit series, right? And then I've got my mix bus over here, which is this one. And the only thing that it has on it is the Oversteer MAS. And I'm gonna try to mix through it so I can simulate as much as possible a little console mix. So let's listen to the tracks, and probably gonna start with doing the volumes and everything. This again is the song Gypsy White Moon.
Under a rambling star, you left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white moon, twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands. I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of the boulevard. white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide those stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss tonight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? Where are you, gypsy white moon?
All right, so that is um, the raw multi-track, the raw song. Basically, that's what was recorded. So just gonna start this whole mix over here in the basic way, which means first I'm gonna start doing the volumes for the drums and everything, and then I'm gonna start applying compression and EQ and all of that. So I'm just gonna switch this to the console 1 view. Those of you guys who are actually using it know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's gonna be this one, the on-screen display. And yeah, let's start doing something. So I've got my kick track selected over here. Just gonna look for an area where it actually kicks. Right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is do the gate, which is gonna be quite small over here. I'm gonna release maybe 2. Let's see. Right, so that's the kick gated. Now let's see the snare. Oh no, we have a kick out actually. So let's gate this one as well. Alright, so this is the kick over here. Just gonna lower this little volume. Right, so snare. Same thing, let's do the gate. We're gonna need a bit more release on this one over here. So let's say about 0.5 should be all right. Hard gate. Right. Snare down. Now guys, do remember the ghost notes that I'm gonna have over here. I'm leaving them from the bottom snare, so I don't really care that much about the ghost notes on the snare top, yeah? So kicks on. Right, and now let's see the overheads, so we can have a bit of a reference towards the volume here. Hi-hat enabled. That sounds about right. Alright, so I'm just gonna switch over to the Cubase track view. No, actually the Cubase mixer view. I'm supposed to have, no, the main one. So this here you can see in the left hand corner, you can see the upper corner, you can see the console 1 thing as well, so you can see what I'm doing with the volumes and everything. And yeah. So now we do have the toms over here. I'm just gonna go to a section where they are actually only them. Just a second, bum bum. So upper tom. Is there tom 1? Yes, there is one single hit in the whole song. Yay. Oh no, there's a bit more. So I've got the upper tom over here. Let's do the gate for it. So 0.4 is about, let's see if we can push it a bit, 0.6. I really don't want that snare over there to come over. Yeah, this should be decent. So this is tom 1. Let's go to tom 2. Over here. Let's see, where exactly do we have a tom 2? Right, tom 2. Now, point 0.6. This should be decent. So I'm only using the hard gate, so I can actually track the transient over there. Let's see, we probably have a... No, they're good over here as well. So guys, I do have the track view over here as well, but I just don't have enough screen to show you exactly everything. So all I'm doing on the track view is looking at the actual events, so I can see exactly where they hit, so I won't waste anybody's time, and mine either. And this is tom 3. Same principle. The gate. Hard gate first. 0.6. All right. Probably decent. No, just a bit more. Right. Okay, so what we have right now is basically our drums. They're all gated. So let's listen to the whole thing and see what happens over here. We'll do the volumes and then we'll start compressing it and EQing, sorry. Okay. Let's check the tom volume. Not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna switch again to the console 1 view because this is when I'm actually gonna start doing the whole thing. So we have our kick over here. Let's solo that thing. So this is the kick in, I presume. And now let's do a little low cut. 30 hertz should be enough. Let's get rid of the nasty 350, 3 something frequencies. We're gonna do a bit of a boost over here on 60 hertz. Yeah, that's decent. Now for a little high and high mid attack. So this is decent. Compression. 30 millisecond attack, release the fastest, so that's 0.10 seconds. Let's stop pumping about 3 decibels into it. Why am I looking at the hi-hat, for fuck's sake? This is what happens when you use console 1 and you don't look up on the screen. So this is the kick. .60 hertz thing, yes. 5 kilohertz boost, yes. Thank you, please. Okay, now it actually sounds like a kick. This is what happens when you're stupid and you don't look up. And I'm pretty sure it happens to most of us, not only me. So this is about 3 decibel reduction, ratio 2.0, 30 milliseconds. So I've got my kick done over here. Now let's go to kick number 2. And apply the same principle. 30 hertz cut. Let's get rid of them stupid mids. Now a little boost on 60 hertz. Same thing, boost 5 kilohertz. Right, compression, 30 milliseconds, 10 release. And our 2 kicks should be sounding together like this. All right, so moving on to that little snare. So I've got the snare top over here, selecting it. Now we're gonna do a low cut at about 100 hertz or so. What I want to do over here is I want to boost so I kind of want to boost about 200 hertz. It's where the low transient of the snare comes in. This one comes in a bit lower. I'm cutting right about here. Yeah. Now let's push a bit of that crank, the snare crank. Right. Moving on, we've got our compressor over here. Ah, yeah. Snap is coming in. The only thing that actually does annoy me on these multi-tracks is the hi-hat coming in with the snare, but you know, that's normal more or less. Right, so snare bottom. On this one, I'm actually going to pull a bit more of the lows. Don't really need them. Let's listen to them in solo for a second. Now this is what I don't like. Just feels boxy as fuck. A bit of high shelf. decent. Now, on this one, I'm actually going to go for fastest attack and fastest release, which on the SSL is about 3 milliseconds and 100 milliseconds release. And I'm going to crank up the compression a bit more. Okay, so let's hear them together. Okay, kicks in as well. Okay, we're not doing too bad. Overheads, next in line. So, again, some low cut. I think I'm gonna take about 60 to 80. Yeah, just about 60. So, one thing, guys, on console 1, this is supposed to... Console 1 is supposed to emulate the actual SSL, so it emulates the inconsistencies in the SSL EQs as well, which means the 89 hertz low cut over here is not exactly 89 hertz because it's much lower. It's at about, say, 60 hertz or so. So do keep that in mind if you are using console 1. Right, so the volumes are pretty much okay. Let's listen to it in solo. And again, cut out the frequencies that we do not like. Yeah, that's one of them. I'm not very keen on this one either. A bit of top. And now let's bring in the rest of the drum. Actually, not the rest of the drum, but the ones that I mixed already. Right, so we're good for now on the volumes. I'm not going to compress the overheads, not unless I really have to. I'm not one of those people that likes freshness in that sound, especially not on a country sound like this one. Hi-hat. Now the hi-hat was the initial track where I messed up the EQ, and I literally thought, because I had it selected, or at least I thought I did. I thought it was the kick, so this one will require no compression whatsoever. This one just has to sit well and has to direct me on the left side. So let's listen to it. Yeah, it's more or less decent. The only thing that I think I'm going to use over here is my Vice de-esser on the compression. that is if I have enough volume going on over here. Ah, damn. So what I did is I had to increase the input gain a bit because it just wasn't hitting the compressor. Right, so this should sound decent. Now let's put this baby down a bit on volume. Mix it and blend it with the overheads. And accepting the toms, which I'm gonna get to in a bit, let's listen to the rest of the drums. Now, I do like the volumes, so I do like the blend of the kick and the blend of the snares. So what I'm going to do right now is I've just linked them, basically, so I'm just going to pull on one of them and the other one is going to come down as well. And I'm going to try to do a bit of volume on the drums. Okay, so that's the kick, and now the snare. Okay, this is decent. Now, let's go on and do the toms real quick. I don't think I'm actually going to do too much EQing on them, but you may never know. Let me find a hit. And there's my tom hit. Doesn't sound bad. So I'm gonna set the release on these ones at about 500 milliseconds. Great. Now for a low cut. Grand, so that's tom number 1. Tom number 2. Let's find some hits. So a hit on tom 2. Bit of low cut. Compression 25, was it? 25? Yep. 25 milliseconds. 500 release, I think, yes. So as you guys are noticing, I'm actually not compressing the drums too much. At this stage, I'm only doing a ratio of 2. I don't feel like there's any need for more than that. So I'm gonna do more if I need to, if I get to the group. And tom number 3. This one actually sounds good. Me likey. So let's do a 35 to 40. Yeah, 40. 40 hertz low cut. Same principle with the compression, 25 milliseconds. And a 500 millisecond release. This one goes a bit more. Now, let's listen to the drums in context. Okay, so this seems decent. There's that kick hit over there at certain times when it actually jumps out. Yeah, there's just a few hits over there, so I think I'm gonna put a clipper on him. Let's try and see that. So switching into the Cubase mixer view, let's try a bit of standard clip, just so we can reduce this thing over here. Where are you? Yeah, that one. Standard clip. I'm gonna use the soft clip classic algorithm. Now you do want your kicks to be dynamic and all, but you don't want them to fuck up your mix at the end of the day. So let's see if this one requires it. Yeah. So I didn't actually do this in the original mix. Right, so we're good to go on this thing. Now, let's check the snare top and see if this one needs any clipping. Oh yeah, it's gonna need some clipping, alright. So same thing, standard clip. I'm just gonna duplicate the thing and search for the place to clip it. Now this hopefully is gonna give us a bit more of a consistent drum. Grand. Right, let's link them toms over here for now. Set the volume a bit lower. Lost a bit of power over here on the kick. That's grand. A bit less will do over here as well. I think this is enough. So we've got a drum bus that sounds like this at the moment. There's this thing right now, which I'm suspecting. The snare is not cracking enough. Mm-hmm. Okay, this here is decent. So, what I'm gonna do right now is do the parallel drums, which basically means I'm gonna send both my, let me link these ones, my direct mics. I'm gonna send them to a bus over here, which is called drum parallel. Pretty sure you guys have this view, yeah. And I'm not gonna use the console one on this one because I really don't have anything to do with it. Actually, I don't even want the drive on this one, the console drive. What I'm gonna do over here is I'm gonna use the SSL Listen mic compressor, which is great for these kind of tasks. And I'm gonna start sending my stuff. So I need the kicks to go there. Drums parallel. I'm gonna need the snares to go there. And I'm gonna want the toms to go there as well. Now, sorry for that. Let me see if sound is coming in. Yes. So what I'm doing right now is I'm listening only to the drums parallel bus. So I can actually set the compressor properly. But I want to smash them a bit. Not too much, because it's not that kind of song, but... yeah, just open up the whole thing a bit. And now, let's try to do a little blend. So, that is my, those are my drums without the bus processing enabled. So what I did until now is I did the tracks and I did the parallel compression. Now let's enable the overheads and the hi-hat and let's listen to it for last time until we go and do the bus processing phase. So we're probably gonna have to mess up a bit with the levels over there, but not now. That'll happen probably later on in the mix. So I'm gonna switch you guys to the console one view, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing over here on the drum bus. So the group. Where is that? Console one SD. So this is the Vice channel strip, the Vice Gambit. And what I'm gonna do here is try to EQ a bit of the drum bus and see what happens. And then I'm gonna use the compression, but I'm not gonna use it from Softube. I'm actually gonna use the SSL X comp because I have a bit more control over there. So first things first. Now, let's see what's bothering us. Yeah, this'll do. Right, so now that we did this, now I actually do feel that the kicks are a bit too loud. So this is a bit better. Now do remember, guys, this is not a rock song over here, so I'm not intending on over compressing anything. Now I've got the SSL X comp that I'm gonna use on the bus. I found that this is the most realistic and most analog-like sounding compressor from the SSL emulations that I own, basically. But yeah, anyway, so let's start from a preset over here, because they had pretty good preset, I think. Or if not, gentle bus comp. Let's see, so ratio is 2. I don't care about that. Nah, I want 30 milliseconds attack. Release. Yeah, this is what the standard SSL bus compressor does. And I'm not taking a lot. We're aiming to take about 2 decibels or so. What I do have to do over here, though, is I need to do a bit of low cut. So I want anything under about 100 hertz, 90 hertz, let's say. I want the compressor to bypass that. Not 100%, but I'm gonna try to level match it as good as possible. So that was a minus 6.53. So let's do a 6 first. So this is before the compressor. And we'll just leave it like that for now. And let's move on to the bass track. So what I did prior to anything on this bass is I took it through my LA2A warm audio clone. So and it's kind of compressed with the LA2A, but still we're gonna need a bit more. And we're gonna need to tweak from the EQ a bit more. So from here we're gonna go again to the console 1 view and do the bass. Ah, we were on the console 1 view. Nice. So just to show you guys what I did over here was on the mixer view. What I did to the drum bus is I've put this compressor over here on. I did some reduction. I think it's taking about 2.5 maybe. Ratio 2, release 100 milliseconds, which is 0.1. And this is the 30 millisecond attack. I did a bit of high pass. So the compressor doesn't hit the bass that much, doesn't react to the bass that much. And it's about 80%, so it's at 90 hertz and it reacts only 20% to it. Right, so that was the drum bus. We're going to the bass. And we have this. So the first thing that comes to mind is to do an actual low cut. I think I'm going to take about 40 hertz. Maybe 45 even. Right, so from here these are the annoying frequencies that you always have to find on the bass guitar and calm it down. And we're gonna want to put a bit of mid on this. So at about 400 hertz, more or less. This should sound decent. Let's bump in a bit of compression over here on the bass. So I'm just gonna go with a maybe 12 milliseconds attack. And more or less a medium release. This time we're actually going to do the ratio a bit more. So what I want on this compressor is to compress the pointy places, which is the transients coming in. So that's kind of it. Now let's listen in context with the drums a bit. Now what I do feel, and I always do this on the bass, is I'm putting Oak Sounds Soothe on it. And this demudding thing is absolutely genius. And it makes everything sound, well, it makes the two of them sit together very well. So let's listen one more time on the verse, to the drums and the bass, and then we'll move on to the instruments. Right, so we kind of have the bass going on well. Let's move on to the first acoustic guitars. So it's going to be an acoustic guitar on the right side. I did the panning prior to everything because I had it already done before mixing, so I'm not going to bother you guys with that thing. And we should have a harmony acoustic guitar. And I want to hear it first in context with the drums. That's the first one. Let's see the second one. Let's do the volume on the second one as well. So the second one is the high strung acoustic, which is, well, if you don't do it properly, basically, it's gonna unbalance the mix, let's just say that. Right, so in context then, I'm just going to switch over to the console 1 OSD and do the first acoustic guitar. A bit of low cut over here at say about 100 or 105 hertz. So my main goal over here is to balance these two guitars. One is high strung, one is low strung, which means one is gonna have too much bass, one is gonna have too many highs. So that way the mix is not gonna be very balanced between them. So I need to get them as close as possible to a balanced thing. So that was the first one. Let's see the second one as well. I'm just gonna put this one in solo. Let's do the cut. Now 200 hertz. Gonna go down 2 decibels as well. But on this one I'm actually gonna do a high cut as well. A low pass. This is that one frequency that bothers everybody. And there's another one as well, which I need to find. Nope, still that one. Now, what I'm actually gonna do over here before anything is I'm gonna put an instance of Soothe 2 before even getting in. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it after. Yeah, because after I'm gonna compress that thing, I'm gonna have quite a few rebel frequencies coming out. So what I'm gonna use as a compressor for this one is another Softube grade plugin. It's the TLA 100A. It's like a leveler, based on the same principle as the LA2A basically. And I'm gonna have this set to medium release and medium attack. You can hear those two frequencies that are actually feeding back. And I'm gonna deal with them in a second. Now I'm gonna deal with this other one, the other guitar, this one. This is closer to what I want a guitar to sound like. I want to hear the picks on it, so same principle with the compression. The TLA 100 is perfect for this task. So this is good. Now let's use Soothe over here to help me out with some of the frequencies on this high strung guitar. So this is the first frequency that was bothering me a lot. Right, and then there's another one. A little boxy frequency. I think it's this one. There's still a tiny wee bit of feedback from that one, so let's see if it's going to bother us further on in the mix. But anyway, until then, let's get everything playing. Okay, so I'm kind of pleased right now with what's happening over here. What am I gonna do next? So I'm gonna go on next and start the instruments. Now, what we have over here is two sets of guitars. Let me just reposition these things. So I've got a main guitar over here, which is this one. It's double mic'd, basically. And then there's another electric guitar. So these are both electric. Again, tracked in two mics, which is just on a bridge or part C of some sort. So let's do with these ones first. Now, because I have the tracks linked, let me double check that, but when I'm linking the tracks over in Cubase, I make sure, especially if they're two mics, double mics, I want to make sure that the inserts are linked as well, which means if I modify a parameter on any of them, they're going to be the same, more or less. So from this, let's switch again to the console 1 view. We are in the console 1 view. And what we are going to do is we're going to do the guitars, but we're going to do them in context. So that means a bit of 200 hertz down. Now, again, whatever I'm doing to the first track, because they're linked, it's going to do it to the second track as well. So I'm just going to put on a bit of compression on this one and see where we stand from there. So I want kind of a 25 millisecond attack with a release about 0.5, let's say. Alright, and let's put them a bit lower. So what we do want to do, I'm just going to switch on to the main view here. What we do want is to, what's that? The Mix Club is going live as well. So what I do want to do is level the guitars over here a bit so they don't sound too much out of context. So again, because I've had the OSD view, the console 1 view, this is what I did on the high strung guitar, which is this one over here. because it had loads of drone sounds. So this is without it. A lot of feedback. And this is with it. So it kind of took as much as it could. And we're gonna move on to the bridge guitar. Yeah, let's do the bridge guitar. So guys, I'm gonna keep you on the main view over here. What I'm doing in console 1, basically, is on the left upper side, and it's a lot easier, and it's a lot easier for me, and it's a lot easier for you guys not to get confused, basically, because I'm getting confused myself. So you'll see exactly what's happening. So again, these channels are mixed, so that means are linked. Sorry, so that means whatever I'm doing on the first guitar, on the left guitar, it's gonna happen on the right guitar as well. So whatever parameter I change. So let's start with doing a low cut. So that's about 110 of low cut. Again, I want to take care of the 200 hertz. I'm usually, by default, I'm actually messing around with the 200 hertz, and I'm just pulling about 2 dBs. A high cut at about 9 kilohertz. Alright, it doesn't sound bad. Compressor, I want a 25 millisecond attack again, and about 50 millisecond, 500 millisecond, or 0.50 release. Right, so let's listen to these things in context with everybody else. And I have one more guitar over here, which I've labeled guitar lick. Now this one over here is going to go with the fiddle, basically. So this violin over here. And basically what they're doing is this. So it's basically doubling the fiddle. Now, what I want to do with this guitar from the very beginning is just to do the low cut to about 110 hertz and that 200 hertz drop, and the high cut at 9 kilohertz. Right, so compression 25 to 50, 0.50, whatever. I don't really want it attacking that much. So what I did with these two is I've taken and panned them. The guitar is 15 on the right, and the fiddle is 15 on the left, because the fiddle is on for the whole song. This guitar just comes in over here and it just goes away afterwards. So this is it with the guitar. I'm not gonna mess with it that much right now. The first thing that I'm gonna do is do the fiddle, and then we're gonna put it in context with everybody else. Such a nicely played fiddle. So what I did is I did a low cut at about 200 hertz, and I did a high cut at about 12 kilohertz. I don't know exactly if I'm gonna do anything more to this one, but then again, I'm not listening in context. So let's first see if it has any problem frequencies. Uh-huh. It did have one. So minus 3.5 on that one, 3.5 decibels. We're gonna go on to the compressor, which is again the TLA 100A. It works amazingly on acoustic instruments. I love it. Right, so what I do want to do on this as well is to put a bit of soothe on. Let's see if it we can find any presets over here already. Done. Violin warmer. No, that's not what I want. Close mic strengths. Maybe. No, it's not solving my problem. Containment low. No. So we're gonna do a flat start over here on this one and find the problem frequency. So this is where it's at most annoying. Now, basically, soothe is works like a backside EQ. So you show it what you want it to subtract, and it will. Slower release, and so this is before. This is the frequency we're targeting because it's annoying, and this is after. So before, after. Still a bit over there, but it's more humane. It takes it out in a more subtle way. It's not like an EQ. So Wes, I love Tourna-mix. Um, sorry, I don't have the screen directly over here, but I love Tourna-mix. And Eric, the dude who runs it, he's a very cool dude. Always listens for feedback and everything. So in case you want to subscribe, or if you're not, try it. You have a 1 month trial. So I would if I were you. Again, these are tracks from Tourna-mix, the ones that I'm allowed to use. So now let's put this fiddle in context with everything else, and let's see what's happening. So I'm kind of digging it until now. Let's see what else we're gonna be doing. Wes, you can do it, man. You can do the 30-day, but I assure you that you're gonna like it more than just for 30 days. Because yeah, you're in the first month you're probably gonna get 2 sets of multi-tracks to mix, and it's nice, and you're gonna see how the tournament works. But you're probably gonna want to stay more because it's just awesome. Now, just gonna do a little quit console 1 and back into console 1 because sometimes it becomes a bit buggy, unfortunately, and my screen over here was blinking, so I just put it back in and it's not blinking anymore, hopefully. Right, so let's get back to the mix. Now we do have an accordion over here, which is this thing. I have this feeling, I'm not sure if they said anything about it. Or actually, I think Eric did say. But I kind of feel like this song was tracked live because I can hear everything. I can hear a lot of bass and a lot of drum bleed. So. Okay. Now, an accordion has annoying, very annoying highs. So, what I'm treating it is like a hybrid between a guitar and a string. Now the 200 hertz dip that I always do. Now that takes care of a bit of boxiness. now that it has calmed down a bit, let's compress the thing again with the TLA 100. And now let's do this and the fiddle. Let's see what the balance is like. Basically, I do have a set of keys over here as well, but basically these are the guitars and these are the acoustic guitars. So I always need to cut a lot of that mid-range over there because there's a ton of information going on. So let's listen to what we mixed until now, what we processed until now. Let's listen to the whole context. Verses. Alright, so this is where we are right now. It's good. It's decent until now. We're gonna solve more of those problems if they arise at the group stage, which are these ones over here. Let's do the keys and start messing with the vocals, which is our favorite part, isn't it? So I've got an organ on the right side over here. And it's a low organ, it's a mono channel. Yeah, in context, it does not sound very good, does it? So what you have on this one is a lot of low-mid information. A lot of annoying low-mid information. That's exactly what's going to mask our bass guitar. And we don't want it to mask the bass guitar at all. So I'm just going to pull about 3 decibels over here. Yeah, and at about 300 hertz, it has a very annoying frequency over there, which is gonna kill us if we leave it. So we open Soothe again, because it's our lifesaver, it's our Swiss knife. Let's see if it has anything for keys. If it does not, we'll solve it. So where are we over here? Piano. No. Drums, bass, orchestral, songwriting. No. So flat start again. And let's search for that annoying low mid-low frequency. Aha. 300 hertz, it is. Now, let's do our high and low pass filters. So again, if you guys have not used Soothe before, this is just the way you show it what you want to reduce. A bit more release. Now this is in the listening mode, so we're listening to what we want to cut out dynamically. Now we're listening to what it did. So this is without it. You hear that very annoying frequency or frequency range? And this is without it. This is with it enabled. This is without those frequencies, and it's gonna blend a lot better into the whole mix. So before I do the whole mix, I want to add some compression to those keys over here. So I'm gonna add the compression on console 1, and again I'm gonna go for the TLA 100 because it is good. This sounds better. Let's listen to the second set of keys. Now this is the stereo one, and it's panned 85 to the left. This sounds like a Rode piano to me, organ, whatever. As much as I like the bass from these instruments, I hate it in this context. So let's do the compression, and we're probably going to put Soothe on it as well. Now this one has two frequencies which have problems. So one is down there where the low one was, and one is higher up. So I'm just going to try to duplicate this and listen on Soothe for the frequency, see if it's that one. Now this one is 150 hertz, 200 hertz. The fact that it dies out so fast is the most annoying thing. At least if it kept the tone, it would be amazing. So now I've got a second one. Yeah, there's a lot of ringing over here between 1 and 2 kilohertz. Let's see if we did anything right. And let's just put this, because we don't really want it to affect much more than that. Let's listen to both of them together. And I think they're not annoying, not as annoying as they were at the beginning. So, let's listen to the whole mix without the vocals right now. Let's see if we did anything right. So I'm just going to mute the vocals from the bus stage and listen to the mix. There's a high frequency, no, mid frequency actually over there, at about 800 hertz, 900 hertz, which is very annoying. Yeah, that one. That one. It should not be there. So we're gonna take a third line of soothe, and we're gonna basically destroy it because there's nothing else to do. Let's listen to that one only. It doesn't work to listen to it if they're linked. Okay, so I want to listen to you. I think it's this one. Yeah. I feel like that frequency just doesn't want to go away from my mix. Even though I know it's exactly this one. It's just messing with my brain, apparently. But we have more tools to deal with it. So just to give you guys an idea of what's happening, we've started with this. And now we have this. Right. So let's go to the keys thing, or actually no, let's focus on this thing until it goes away. So at this stage, I'm left out of too many options, but an EQ, like frequency. Let's hunt for that thing. So after an annoying minus 8 decibel, for fuck's sake, cut, it finally went away somehow. So this is without it. This is with it. Right, so still there somewhere. So we're in better territory at the moment, so that's fine. If you guys were expecting a mix in 1 hour, that does not happen with me. I do mix a bit slower, but I like to take care of the mix, so the whole mix for me should last about 4 hours or so, but that includes some kind of mastering as well, so stick around. Now, we've got the lead vocal, which, again, I think the lead vocal, I'm not sure, because I've done this mix about, what, 2 months ago or so, or 1 month and a half ago. I think I've pushed the lead vocal first through my Warm Audio LA2A, and then recorded it back in. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We've got this. Yeah, we've got this vocal bus, which was muted.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts.
I have to say, I love this guy's vocal coming from a singer. This guy is fucking great.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were.
So I started with high pass or low cut, whatever you want to call it, at about 115 hertz. Now I'm gonna do my usual 200 hertz cut, because I have this thing with that frequency. It's always the most annoying one in any mix.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white moon.
Now this is the boxy frequency that I don't want in the mix.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts.
Nice.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were.
Now let's listen to the whole thing in context. No, not solo.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
I'm just remembering that those toms are a bit low. So
I think you were born under a gypsy white moon.
a little bit louder than that.
Gypsy white moon. Gypsy white moon. Where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
So I'm loving the vocals. I really am digging the vocals. I don't even think I need that much attack on them, so I'm just gonna pull back a bit on the high mid.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Nice. So right now I'm gonna have to look for a nice compressor just to take a tiny whiny bit off of it, but not too much. And I don't know exactly what I want for this one. Maybe a FET compressor, but then it's probably gonna have too much attack. I don't really want this much attack on it. Let's try the TLA actually, even though I've already done processing through a leveler. Let's see if we can level it a bit more. If it works, it works. It's audio.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
So this vocal did not need that much 200 hertz dip, so it's nice. And now we're gonna be looking for the Vice DS, and we'll see if we need any soothe on it. We're probably gonna need a bit of it, but let's try and do it the right way. So we're looking for a vocal soft. I think it's this one, yeah.
I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
So it's nice until now, but still I'm gonna have to soothe it a bit, just to take a tiny whiny bit off of it. Let me see if I have any presets going on good for this thing. So D honk, yeah, it's more like a D honk.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you?
It sounds better like this, but let's see in context.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
So the aim at the end of the whole thing is just to hit the overstayer, this overstayer over here. It's set at 9 dB because it's the classic mass setting. The overstayer on the mix bus is supposed to be hit maybe 0.1, 0.2, more or less. So there's going to be a bit of a question of volume and drive over here, but we're going to do this as soon as we finish up the tracks. Yes, I know it is a very boring process for most of you guys that do not do this. For us stupid, crazy enthusiasts, which are messing with artists all the time, and we are artists, more or less, most of us, or some of us. This is the work.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight?
Now for this one I do have a second vocal as well, a female vocal, which I've panned just a tiny bit on the right.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes.
This one is going to need a lot less work, which is good.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
My idea is that I don't really want this one to pop out too much, but you know, I'm just gonna treat it with respect. Give it a tiny boost over here, about.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight?
Let's see them both.
Too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on, gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight?
Okay, so the TLA 100 goes on this one as well for compression. We're gonna Take a bit more.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes.
Okay, so now let's listen in context.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too
Okay, so it's pretty decent until now. There's much more work to do though. Hey, Twilight Zone. Hello from France. Hello from Romania, man. Welcome to the stream. Now at this point, I've been mixing for about, I have no clue. I think I've started at 8:30, so I've got 2 hours now. And ears are starting to feel it, but I'm not, I'm not doing it too loudly. Hopefully the sound is okay on your end, lads. So, we've got the backing vocals left. And there's a ghost voice. I don't know why I labeled it ghost voice, but whatever. And then we're going to the bus stage to see if we need to tweak some things from there. So again, for those of you who have just tuned in right now, what I'm doing over here is I've got a full SSL 4000 strip up until the bus stage. The buses have the Vice Gambit, which is the cleanest EQ you can find on console 1, and everything else is just other added plugins such as the standard clip, which I used for the drums, for the kicks, and the snare top mic, and Soothe 2, and I think I have a listen mic compressor on the parallel drums. I've got overstayer on the mix bus, and yeah, everything else. The drum bus has the SSL X comp, so it's more or less the SSL bus compressor, but I have a bit more control over it. So now we've got backing vocals over here, which sound like this. No, not like that. Again, super nice backing vocals. Now what I'm gonna try to do over here is I'm gonna try to high pass a bit more so I can have more stereo on the backing vocals. I don't want them to weigh too much in the mono section. Right? I don't think I'm gonna do much more than that because they're not exactly supposed to pop out too much. TLA 100 for compressor. Medium, let's see. Let's see if I can release it slowly on this one. When I have a slower release on the stereo track, what happens is, and most of you guys might have noticed, you get more stereo width. or at least your imagination has more stereo width. At least mine does. So let's see how they sound with normal vocals.
Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? White moon, where are you shining?
Nice. I'm just gonna copy the DS over here on the second vocal because I forgot to do that. Let's see if the DSer works on the female vocal.
White moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to.
Now let's DS the backing vocals as well, because we don't want too much S in our stereo width, in our stereo channel, that is. So I'm just gonna go a bit blind over here on this one and take
White moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to. White moon, where are you shining? It's too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon to hide.
Context. Let's listen in context. We've got one more track over here and we're down to the bus stage.
It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Great. So, we've got one more vocal thing over here, which I have no clue what it actually is. Let me seek for it. Okay, so it's this thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna probably treat this like the two backing vocals that I have over here. So the easiest way to do that is just duplicate. Let me see if it has any S. No, it only has the oo, so I don't need the de-esser.
Soon to hide those stars in your eyes. I'll hold on. Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
Yeah, there must be a drop in the song over here because that's the way it sounds like.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide those stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
So even ozone tells me it's more or less within the range. Good. So now what I'm gonna be doing right now over here on the bus stage, because we've kind of finished with the tracks, before adding effects and stuff like that on the tracks, but before doing that, I'm just gonna mess around over here and try to hunt down some frequencies that are really annoying me. and that usually happens on the guitars and on the stringed instruments and the accordion and all of that jazz, and the keys as well. So first, let's look at the guitars. I feel like if I'm gonna use, and this is a plugin that I use a lot, Brainworks Refinement, I feel that just a tiny bit over there is just gonna make things a bit clearer. What this one does is it helps a lot around the, say, 1.52 kilohertz range, and it's really, really, really good if you don't push it, of course. So again, guys, do remember, I'm not purposely killing the guitars over here. What I want to do is I'm gonna need to make a bit more space in the mid-range because it is clogged over there, and it's just because there's many instruments coming in. So this is with the guitars. Let's hear that in context, and let's mute the keys and the other things.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Yep. Sounding good. What I want to do again is just take these toms a bit higher.
Gypsy white moon. Gypsy white moon.
That should be decent. Right, so now let's turn the keys on, because these ones have very rebel frequencies going on.
Gypsy white. I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty, with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but
There's a bit of high mid stuff going on over there, but not too much. Actually, it's quite decent. I was expecting a lot worse. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up another instance of Soothe and try to clean up just a bit more. Let's see what this default preset over here. This is the annoying part. See how this one's bouncing around? That's it. Let's see if it works in context.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? What are you hiding in that crystal ball?
Okay, so this is good. Now we have this one, which is the harshest bus of instruments, which consists of the accordion and the fiddle. My best friends. Now this one for sure needs a bit of Brainworks refinement. And what I'm actually going to do on this one is I'm going to do a bit more low cutting from here, because again the song was tracked live. I don't know about the vocal, but everything else seems to have a lot of bleed, so I'm presuming that we're all in the same room, we're close enough playing at the same time. Now everybody has some space, some degree of space. Now, because I've done this, I have a bit more space for the keys over here, which is going to make the mix a bit clearer. So let's listen to it in context.
Where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white What are you hiding in that crystal ball? A vision of love and fearing it all. You must have seen your own heart break. You close the curtain and run away. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight?
Now, there was a bit of trouble over there with a bit too much hunk on the vocals. So what I did is I've looked at the soothe thing. I pushed it a bit more, so to compensate for that, I'm gonna do a bit of high shelving over here at about 8.
Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? run away. Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Okay.
Where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your.
So after a bit of balancing and everything else, I'm actually decently or cautiously happy with what happened until now, which is good. So Twilight Zone, sorry for not seeing the message earlier, man. I just don't have the window open. So I bought my console one end fader. I got it actually I got it used from Germany from a dude, and I basically got both of them for about 1,000 quid or 900 quid or so, and it was really worth it because it came directly with the standard console one SSL 4000, but then it had the British Class A and it had the American Class A included as well. So it's a very good investment. I actually, since I bought it, I'm mixing only on this. It took me about a couple of months to actually get my head over it and get used to it, and do my. I'm doing it hybridly, but more or less I'm doing my compression EQ stage on this, and then if I need to do anything else, I'm just gonna go on Cubase and I'm gonna use Soothe or Vice DS if I need a de-esser after it or stuff like that, basically. So it's really worth the investment. If you're looking into getting one, it's good. Good. So, first thing I need to do right now is to put a bit of reverb on that snare. And after we do a bit of reverb on that snare on the drum bus, we're going to start messing with effects so we can actually enlarge the song and make it better and nicer and all of that. I know it took about 2.5 hours to get here, but this is real life mixing, guys. This is not, I have not done any pre compression EQ or anything else on it. This is actually how a person mixes in real life, and I did not learn. I've mixed this song before, but I didn't learn it by heart, everything that I'm doing and every other thing. So I've just started mixing this in this session, in this stream. The volumes, I've undone them, so I took all the volumes to 0. What I did have is the panning, because I was like, no, I don't want to go through that because I'm wasting too much time. So I did the panning. I left the panning as I had it before. So anyway, now this here is my first FX track, and it's the snare reverb track. What I usually do is I get a reverb only for that snare, and I send the snare into it, and then I route it back to the drum bus, so the drum group. And this is not one of those songs in which I'm gonna need some kind of aggressive reverb, so I'm just gonna presume over here that I'm gonna go with the plate. I think that's gonna sound the best. So little plate it is from Sound Toys. Now I want to do some kind of low cut. The problem is with little plates, you do not know how much low cut you're doing. So I'm just gonna send the snares, snare top and snare bottom to this one, and then we'll see exactly what happens. Snare verb 1, snare verb 2. So I've sent it. I've got minus 18 over here already. I don't know exactly why it's minus 18. Just gonna make it minus nothing so I can hear exactly what's happening. No. You need to be in solo, boss. Now, again, this song was tracked live and the BPM of this song is 75. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out a calculator and measure my reverb like a tidy person. So I've got 60,000 milliseconds divided by 75, and that gives me 800. What? That much? So 800 milliseconds. That means I want this double, so I'm gonna go on about 1.6. So setting little plates to 1.6 is not gonna be the easiest thing, but it's about there. Now let's listen to that reverb. Let's try to see with the modulation on. We don't need any modulation. So let's turn on the reverb a bit lower than that. So let's say minus 17. And let's listen to the drum bass as a whole. So this thing with adding reverb on the snare, it is helpful in every way, but it's also sound designing. And now I'm liking my snare. So let's listen to it in context.
Where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Okay, that's nice. Okay, boys and girls, this is that time and place where I'm actually gonna link the groups and I'm gonna try to get them as close as possible to about minus 5 decibels or so as they're going into the mix bus, the stereo out, because you know, if we want to do any kind of mastering, we don't want to push too much from there. So gaining is not exactly the solution, so better to give it a bit of volume. And I'm gonna try to give them 3 decibels of volume each. Let's see what happens.
Where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
More than 3 decibels. Let's try 5 decibels.
Where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you?
Right, so about 4 decibels seems to be the sweet spot. So that was it. Because if I'm gonna start messing with the reverbs right now, if I'm gonna put the reverbs from the track stages from here, and if I lift the volumes afterwards, it's not going to be the same amount of send, because this does not affect this. So we're going to have more signal from this if I raise it, more dry signal and less wet signal. Anyway, you guys get the point. Eric is asking me for stuff. And I'm in the middle of the stream, Eric. Grant, so let's do reverbs. So now I've got the vocal plate, but before the vocal plate, what I'm going to show you guys a little trick on I've learned online, and that is you add an FX track. If you have any type of micro shifting plugin like I do, which is a little micro shift from Sound Toys, it's very good for the vocal. You're gonna widen a bit the main vocal, and you're gonna give it a bit more focus as well in the whole thing. What this does is it creates two delayed copies of your vocal, and you're gonna have a bit more stereo width with them. So what I'm doing right now is I'm sending the main vocal to the wider thing, and I'm gonna send about -16 because that's the sweet spot I've learned over the last year or so. And this is the vocal without.
Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
And this is the vocal with this.
Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
So the difference is very tiny, but it applies to the whole mix. This is without it.
Where are you shining?
And check this out when I enable it.
It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you?
Basically, some more width and some more focus to the vocal. Right, so that's done. Now, let's start putting reverbs. So I've got a plate of slot over here, and I'm probably gonna use the same thing as I used on this one, but with a different send and all of that. So little plate over here on the plate. I've got a room reverb over here, which is probably gonna be SSL's flex verb. Should I? Or still thinking. Let's do flex verb. So this is a reverb where my whole mix is going to go into, so it's kind of important, more or less. Medium room 800, it's exactly what I need. I do not want low frequencies and all of that, but you know, we'll mess with this probably later on. I'm usually cutting the reverb at about, you know, anything beneath 200 hertz is not exactly what I need, and anything on top of, say, about 10 kilohertz is again not something that I need. I'm just gonna make this a bit better, a bit wider. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for now. We're just gonna let it sleep over there. And this is room for guitars. So I've probably used in the last mix a guitar room just for these ones. But I'm pretty sure I did it for the electric guitars and not the acoustic guitars. So if you guys are noticing, this is a stereo tracked guitar, but it doesn't have too much width now, does it? So there's one trick I can try with these, and that's the old pull tech trick. But not the rule tech. Let's try the cleanest pull tech EQ that I have, which is Better Maker. So basically this trick means I'm gonna boost the low frequency at 30 hertz with about 6 decibels, and I'm gonna cut it with the exact same increment. So this is without it. This is with it. It's a tiny bit of a difference, but you know, let's see with the whole thing, the whole guitar bus. Yeah, it's making it a bit more stereo without messing with the phase, which is exactly what we want, basically. So.
Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on.
Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a plate reverb on the vocal. Let's
Moon, Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you?
Good. Now on the second vocal, I want to do the same thing more or less. Plates are the best for vocals.
Moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars
In your eyes, I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Good. Now the backing vocals need a pair of plates as well. Actually, no. Just think, no. They're gonna, plates have too much width, so I don't want that. But I do want it on this mono backing vocal, because it's just this thing over here. If I manage to find it. So I want it a bit wider.
White moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide.
Good enough for jazz. Right, so now we've got the guitars and the drums and the bass. So the way we're going to do this, I'm just going to link all these tracks over here, and I'm just going to add the room reverb, -20 on all of them. Just going to listen to the room reverb and to what it does.
White moon, where are you, gypsy white moon?
And let's see if we can do anything to help this thing out. So 800 is a frequency that I don't think, gonna touch. Let me see.
Gypsy white moon. What are you hiding in that crystal ball?
Good. Let's see on the higher one as well. 2.5 kilohertz.
Gypsy white moon. What are you hiding in Gypsy white moon?
Now, none of us want that frequency to reverberate anymore. So, this was the EQ on the whole thing. Let's listen to it with and without.
Gypsy white moon. What are you hiding in that crystal ball? A vision of love and fear. I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too
Good. So this put that, this gave it a bit of room and a bit of width and a bit of spaciness and all of that. What we want to do right now is to take this violin over here, the fiddle, and we're gonna want to give it a bit more width. And the way we do that is with the plate reverb. So I've put the room reverbs on the buses, and I'm putting the plates on the tracks. That's because I want the plates over here, like in the groups, the signal is going to be dry anyway, but I want these things to be on individual instruments, whilst the room, I don't need them to do that. So this is the plate. And for a certain reason I couldn't hear it, but now I will. Context.
I think you were born I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts.
Just gonna pull back on the vocal reverbs. They're a bit too much, so let's try minus 15 if minus 13.5 was a bit too much.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts.
Nice. So what we want to do right now is put some plates on the acoustic guitars as well, because acoustic instruments sound amazing with plates. Not too much though, but let's see how much we can push.
Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white blue, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to.
Great, so we're here now. What we do want is a bit of a delay on the vocal. Small little delay. Don't even think that I want it to stereo either. What do I have over here interesting? Mod delay, ping pong delay, mono delay. Probably mono delay. It's not too bad. And let's send the vocal through it. The main vocal, that is. Vocal delay.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were. I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts.
So the idea over here is to get it as subtle as possible, but to have it there. So this is without it.
I think you were born under a rambling star.
Which is decent, but
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken.
so this here is the Steinberg mono delay. Sorry, I had it on the other screen. I've set it up to an 8 with feedback 50%, mix 100% because it's not on the track, but it's directly on an FX track, so it's send. And I did a bit of high cut and low cut, so the filtering over there. Now let's listen in context, with and without it.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts.
Which is cool. Let's hear without it.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left
alright.
an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams.
Which is nicer. Right, so we've done that. What else do we have to do over here? Let's see if we can do a bit of delay on the fiddle. The reverb's nice, but I have this feeling that it's gonna sound better with the delay. Let's find the fiddle. Fiddle track, listen to the fiddle track. So I'm gonna use a bit of a different delay over here. I'm just gonna try to use a stereo delay. Let's see the guitar answer. And let's put the delay on as well. This is without it. This is with it. But I'm not liking the mix over here, so let's try to mix it. No, it's not exactly the timing that I was looking for, but we can mess with that as well. So I'm looking for one. I want it 1/2 and 1/4. It's not too bad. I want it panned though. Good. Now let's pull back a bit on the send. And what I'm actually going to do with this delay over here is I'm actually going to send it to the plate reverb. I wanted to do it in the room, but the plate is better. So I'm going to send it to the plate reverb, which is, not that one, this one. Because it'll be more interesting, and it's going to be like this. Gives it a bit more width.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me.
Okay. It pretty much sounds alright. Not amazing, but not bad either. So let's see if I push this room a bit further, if it's going to give it a bit more dimension, and then we're going to go to the mix bus.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery.
Let's send the vocal delay to the plate as well. This is more or less the tactics of Chris Lordology, which is amazing.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left it
Too much. Maybe minus 15.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon.
Alright. Now this does not sound very bad. Let's start with a bit of mix bus processing. So, what I want to do over here, again, the overstayer is here to simulate more or less the master of a console, of an analog console, which is a bit pushed. So that's, for me, what I hear the overstayer doing. So, what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to push somewhat a compressor, a bus compressor, and then we're going to do a bit of EQ and see if we can go further into the master section. So I'm just gonna use the XComp or SSL bus compressor. Let's do the bus compressor. So I want it to release on 1. I want 30 milliseconds of attack, 100 milliseconds of release, a ratio of 2 to 1. And I'm gonna do a sidechain filter and see how that sounds like at about, say, 90 hertz, because I don't want the compressor to react necessarily to the low end.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight.
I did not even know this plugin had this oversampling thing, but it's amazing. Thank you, SSL. Mix 100% wet. What I do not see over here, and it's a bit annoying, is... Ah, no, it is. Makeup gain. So, let's try to level match this shit.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty?
Nice. What I'm gonna do right now is use the Better Maker EQ to balance my mix. And I'm gonna use this thing. I'm gonna have it on the left screen to... You're not gonna see that screen, but you don't need to. So I'm gonna use this one to balance it as much as possible to what I need from it. So you'll see the moves anyway on this.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight?
Now we need a bit more high end, right? So I'm just gonna switch it to 8 kilohertz. Try to boost a tiny bit of it.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of Mooloolaba. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's
Okay, sounds decent. What else do I want? I think I'm gonna want a bit more 60 hertz punch from that kick over there.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? had they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands. I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of Mooloolaba.
Right, so that's about everything I'm gonna do. I'm not sure exactly. I think I have a 400 hertz little problem over there. Let me see if there's any way to get rid of that. So I'm just gonna use the first EQ over here. I want it as sharp as possible. Let's
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? I've asked every
Now that we've done that, there's a frequency bothering me, which is yeah, there's a bit of a whistle over there on the guitar, on the fiddle. Let's see if we can refine that a bit as well, real quick. Refinement does not work on this. So again, frequency EQ, the stock Cubase EQ, will help our asses over here. Okay.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on.
And now let's try attempt a master. So the first plugin that I'm gonna use over here just before, let me save this thing. God forbid Cubase crashes. So the first plugin that I usually use on my mastering chain is the Vice EQ1 in linear phase mode. I'm gonna do an MS thing, so I'm not gonna have them ganged, whatever. And this is the mono channel basically, and this channel 2 is the stereo channel. So let's see what we're cutting and what we're boosting from here. This certainly goes away. Or at least some of it.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in.
Remember, we want to cut sharp, and when we're pushing, when we're adding, wide Q.
Last kiss goodnight. Where are you?
Let's listen to it a bit more. This is annoying as well, so let's cut some of it.
Your last kiss goodnight. Where are you? Gypsy white moon.
Yeah. Now, like any normal citizen, I'm just gonna cut, do a low cut over here at about 20 hertz, so the whole mix stays properly. And yeah, that's kind of it. I don't think I need to cut or boost anything else on the mono channel. On the stereo channel though, we're talking about another thing. So I'm gonna do the cut on the stereo channel at about 65 hertz because I don't really want that information in the stereo field. So let's say 60. It's all right.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight?
Now this has to go. Even though it is more or less in the key of the song, I'm just gonna cut a tiny bit of it.
I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you?
All right, so we're getting to a different result. More finished mix. I think we're going to be done in about 20 minutes or less even, if we play our cards right. Next, let's see if we have any annoying frequencies and at the high mids. remember this is the side. This is it.
Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hope.
What I do want to do, and I don't know if it's gonna work properly, but I want the high, I want the overheads just a tiny bit more sparkle. And the guitars. Let's see.
Where are you, gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards.
Want to cut a bit of the mud over here on the mono channel. This is it.
Gypsy white moon. What are you hiding in that crystal ball? A vision of love and fearing it all. You must have seen your own heart break. You close the curtain and run away.
Grand. So from here, we're gonna do, I don't really think we're gonna need too much more compression, but what I do think we're gonna need, let me see.
Are you, gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told.
We don't need too much stuff. Maybe a wee bit of compression. The stereo field is grand, so I'm not gonna mess with that. I think I'm gonna use a Gullfoss EQ for master, because this will help me settle a few things and make it just a tiny bit more dynamic. I'm not gonna use too much, I'm just gonna use a 10% over here and see how and what it's doing. So the idea with the Gullfoss EQ is, if you guys don't know, you have to match this to the original and this to the original as well. So that means at the moment I need to recover until I get this here as close as possible to 0, and the brightness as well, I need to get it as close as possible to that. So let's try first and see what happens.
Are you gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan?
So this is with the
With a
bypass.
twisted black-haired beauty, with my fortune in her hands. I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of Mooloolaba. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your...
Okay, this is decent. We need just a couple of things right now, and then we're gonna be finished with the master. So from here, I'm just gonna use soothe, tiny bit of soothe. Actually, I'm gonna use a preset, a master preset on this, which is de-essing the middle, probably the clicky thing.
Are you gypsy white moon?
Yep, it works like a charm, and it calmed down a bit of the transients. So I'm done with this. Now I'm gonna go into saturation, and I'm gonna use Softube tape, F-cars. Third one is the one that I like most. I've used it already. I know what I'm into, and I'm just gonna use a wee bit of it.
Are you gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan? With a twisted black-haired beauty, with my fortune in her hands. I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her roll.
Grand. So what I usually do now is I use a clipper, which is standard clip, and let's take kind of like a tiny bit, really tiny bit, maybe 0.5 or 1 decibel, to let the limiter work a bit more in my favor. So I'm just gonna compensate over here with 1 decibel to lift some weight off the limiter. I don't want the limiter to work too much for me.
Are you gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan? With a twisted black-haired beauty, with my fortune in her hands. I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of Mooloolaba.
Grand. And now I've got the Vice MM1 Master Maximizer, which is going to be my limiter. What I want to reach with this, I use the wide one for mastering. I like it the most, which means they're going to process MS. So basically, the mid is going to be processed separately from the sides. And my goal over here is to reach. Just going to do a normal master, which is minus 0.1. My goal over here is to reach in this thing, the BX meter, about minus 8 more or less. I'm not gonna push it so much, even though on the contest that we have over here and the contest where I have the multi-tracks from, everybody likes to push the limiter a lot. I don't know exactly why, but you know, it happens. So this is that moment when everything's gonna get louder.
Are you gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of the Lullaby. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss.
Now one thing that I like, so the level is more or less this one. One thing that I like about mastering in the same session is that I can actually go back a bit right now to the snare, which I find a bit too sparkly, and just pull down a little on that and give it a bit more bass. So let's hear that.
Are you gypsy white moon? I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of the Lullaby.
Right, folks, so right now I'm gonna show you guys what we started from about fucking a lot of hours ago. 4 hours ago. 4 hours? 3.5 hours ago. We've started from this.
Are you gypsy white moon?
And we got to this.
Are you gypsy white moon? I've asked every string.
So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna let you guys listen to the whole song, and then we're gonna be finishing our little stream over here. Don't know how many of you guys are still watching this, but there's 4 of you. Emil Dragomirosko, I know this song. Well, if you're on Tourna-mix, you probably do know that song, I assure you. So this is the more or less mastered version of the song, whatever you want to call it. And it sounds like this.
I think you were born under a rambling star. You left an ocean of tears from all those broken hearts. Your dark eyes of mystery are still shining in my dreams. Just a wisp of what we were is out there calling for me. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I hold on to your last kiss goodnight. I've asked every stranger, have they seen a caravan with a twisted black-haired beauty with my fortune in her hands? I thought I could hold her, but it wasn't in the cards. I was told they saw her rolling just west of Mooloolaba. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide the stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? What are you hiding in that crystal ball? A vision of love and fearing it all. You must have seen your own heart break. You close the curtain and run away. Gypsy white moon, where are you shining tonight? It's too soon to hide those stars in your eyes. I'll hold on to your last kiss goodnight. Where are you, gypsy white moon? Where are you, gypsy white moon?
Now, of course, there are going to be a few small problems. Of course, there's going to be there's a hiss, not a hiss, sorry, a frequency over here that is very annoying, and it still exists somewhere around there. But I don't know if it's worth your time to try to take it out. It's around here.
Crystal ball, a vision of love, white moon. A vision of love.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I remember hearing it. But that's, that's the type of job you're gonna do the second day after you did this whole thing. And, or at least this is what I do. I listen to it again tomorrow, and the tiny small corrections, I'm gonna do them. Furthermore, I haven't done any automation because that takes a lot of time and it's annoying. And it's very annoying, basically. So, what I would typically do at this point is I would, increase the choruses a bit and put the verses a bit lower, and that part over there where he's alone, it's just the voices alone with no drums. So that is something that I don't want to do right now, and it kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing. What I wanted to show you guys is how I work in console one, and how I set up my chain over here to make it sound as analog as possible. And yeah, this is kind of it. So guys, I'm probably gonna leave the stream over here. I'm gonna go on and you know, take a break and have a glass of water, basically, and just get out of this chair over here because my back is starting to hurt. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions or anything, you can just go on and ask in the comments. And yeah, this was Gypsy White Moon, provided by Tourna-mix by Eric Passmore. And if you guys want to subscribe to that kind of stuff, if you want to learn, and if you want to join a tournament of mixers, an international tournament of mixers, that's the way to do it. So I'm probably going to do a few more streams on other songs in the next, after New Year's Eve, basically after the new year in 2022. So until then, have yourselves a very happy new year, and you know, let's keep in touch.